Hey everybody, it's Chris coming to show you some more yard sale and thrift store finds. Got out to the yard sales for the first time this year. Finally stopped raining and it was finally warm enough. The snow finally melted last week after I think it even snowed Monday. But anyway, so I managed to go to yard sales and it was pretty good first time doing yard sales for the year. So let's get into it. I will start over here. Just got a Polaroid camera. It's a Spectra. I think this was $8 at Savers. Probably get about 35, 40 on that. Got a Wii. I think I might have got, there's another Wii up there. I think I got those both in the past couple weeks. I think they were both about 20 to 25, and they had a bunch of controllers and wires and all that. Then we've got, I'll get to that a little bit later, those systems. Got a pile of puzzles from a local thrift store. They were $4 and $5 a piece. Most of them go for about 40. The smaller ones are around 20. Puzzles are good to grab. They go kind of slow, but they do eventually sell for like an okay amount. On top of that, I got a Frogger Arcade Classic machines made by Excalibur. They usually make chess, electronic chess boards, but they made one of this back in like 2005. I'm not really sure how much I'm gonna be able to get for this. I know the older ones that look kind of like this, you can get between like 100 and 200. I'm still hoping to get around there. We'll find out. On top of that is an old sealed Logitech, whatchamacallit, webcam. I've already dented the case a few times by accident, but should go for about 25, 30. People, they still buy all this old Logitech stuff. I'm not really sure why, besides the ones that work. But then we have Epic Spell Wars of the Battle Wizards Duel at the Skullfire, at Mount Skullfire, I think. That's a Cryptozoic game. That's I usually pick up those smaller kind of like niche games. This one was only going for like 20-ish on Amazon. I only paid $2 for it at Goodwill and 5% off. So I might hold on to that. It's got the art, if you look close, it looks like the art from regular show. It's probably the same artist. Go over here, get Jurassic Park 3 Island Survival game. I picked this up knowing it wasn't complete because I thought I had a copy, and I figured I could mix them together. I can't find it. I'm gonna keep looking, but I do have a copy of Lost World, so I might have just been thinking of that. But if that was complete, about $50 on that. Got a couple copies of Pizza Party. These were both at the same Savers, about a week apart. $3.99 most likely for both of them. One of them was missing a couple pieces, but I have a parts copy liner, and I think that's actually the box for the parts copy, and the one I got was kind of trashed. So those go for about between 50 and 75 depending on the week, depending on who else is selling them. Under that, you got a copy of Taboo sealed. That'll go for about 35. Under that, we got Seven Wonders again. Sold a copy of for like 20-ish plus full shipping. Couple weeks ago, hoping to get the same. And then under that, Dominion, paid like $1 or $2 for that at Goodwill as well. Then one of these at Savers. It's Sony converts your like your tapes into DVDs, and I think there's also memory card slots, so you can just go digital files on them. These go for about 150 usually. Go back here. Got Card Wars Adventure Time game. I think I paid $2 or $3 at Savers, and above that a Mario Super Mario Brothers card game. I think the same $2 or $3 at Savers. These only go for about like 10 new. I think I just picked them up because they looked fun. Behind that, I got a copy of Brainetics. I think I got that at the same Savers. That's it's new. Goes for about like 75 to 100 on that. We got a couple boxed Star Frontiers games. It's Dungeons and Dragons in space, more or less. TSR game. Both complete. I think they both go for around like 100 each, but I think they'll be slow sells. And then a Copy of Supremacy, the oldest version, I believe. Usually goes for about $100. I only paid like 4. And then I got a copy of Munchkin Quest at the Savers, where I got Dominion and the other long name game. I paid $3 for this minus the 5%. I'll probably hold on to this. I like Munchkin a lot. I think you guys have seen throughout the videos. I end up getting more and more copies of it. Speaking of which, there's a copy of Munchkin X Cop I'm gonna keep. So I'm gonna keep the 2 of those. Paid like $2 for Munchkin X Cop. I have never played Munchkin Quest, so if it ends up just being kind of like annoying compared to the regular game, I'll probably get rid of it. But I think that goes for about 50 new. Munchkin X Cop's probably like 15 or 20 new. Under that, Best Chronology. Got that for $1 minus 5% at Goodwill. It usually goes for about like 20 to 30 on that. I was pretty happy to find this. Forever ago, I had passed on this at a flea market. I don't know why I didn't think that the screen that attaches to the PS1 would have any value, but I've since learned they go for about like 50 to $100, depending on like how many there are usually. Came attached with the PlayStation controller I had to buy separately. It was $5 for that. There was another PS1 controller, a nice like ice blue one. That I just put with the PS2 and sold a while ago though. There's a memory card. I think it was $20 for it. So probably get about like 30, 35 on the console, plus shipping and all that. Yeah, probably about, I would guess like 70-ish on the screen right now. Then CD player, that one's actually a cheaper one. I think it only goes for like $15-20. Paid like $1 or $2 at Savers, I think. Big screen poker, I think I picked that at Salvation Army for $1 or $2. Got a little electronic Yahtzee. I got that at Goodwill Outlet, so I paid basically nothing for that. Got a sealed nunchuck at Savers. I think that was $7.99. I want to say I grouped that with some of this other stuff and used my 20% off. And then Clue Master Detective, that was at Savers. That was $3.99. Found a lot of these lately. Usually, $50-$60 on that. Got this at Goodwill Outlet. It's a Olympic Games contributor medal. Like I said, Goodwill Outlet, so I paid basically nothing. It's probably the closest I'll come to finding an Olympic medal. I did find a small pin before, I think, in a video forever ago. That sold for, I think, $5-10 actually a few weeks ago. Yeah, grabbed that just because I figured it might be worth a few bucks at least. Got a BA2 Plus at Goodwill yesterday. I think this was 3 minus my 5%. I think this is the newest version of the BA2 Plus, so probably about 25 on that. Got a TI 84 Plus at a yard sale for $22. And I got a lot of this other stuff from the same yard sale. I bought this from like the sister, and then like the brother sold me all this other stuff. I'll show you in a minute. Go jump back over here. Got a Nintendo DSi. This is I didn't know. I noticed that the people were French, but I didn't figure this would be French. But yeah, there's that. They bought it new. I only paid $15 for it. I'm not sure how much I'll get for it actually, because it's region free. Thankfully, it tested U.S. DS games and they work fine. Yeah, I'm not sure how much that'll go, but complete in box, has everything. Actually, does not have a charger. Has a card charger. So actually, yeah, I'm gonna find out about that. I think we just have the games and these consoles. So I'll talk about the consoles first. So I got a PS2, Wii, an N64, that original Nintendo, those 2 Game Boy Pockets, the Game Boy Color, and that Game Boy Advance, and that stack of games, and like half of that stack of games for $120 at a yard sale. This family just kept going back inside, and then finally they were like, oh, just come inside. And I went through like a ton of their video game stuff. I left behind like an original Xbox, an Xbox 360. I probably should have just bought the 360. A bunch of like sports games, and yeah, after leaving, I'm thinking I probably could have offered them the 120, and they probably would have gave me like the rest of the stuff. But it's not a big deal. Um, it would have just been more clutter. Would have taken a while to sell. So anyway, yeah, 120 bucks. Came with the blue controller. The Wii came with a bunch of nunchucks, but no Wiimotes. I got like 5 or 6 PS2 controllers. There were no Nintendo games. They couldn't find them. They think they might be in the attic. I might hear back from them. I might not. They said they would sell them to me for pretty cheap. So hopefully that'll happen. But yeah. Let's see. We'll go. I'll show you these. So got a Game Boy Color, Kiwi. Yep, it's got a F1 race right there. And got a Game Boy Pocket. I've always liked the Game Boy Pocket. I think every time I get one, I mention like I didn't realize how like nice it was, so I never got one. I had the original one, and then I jumped to a color. I really like how small this is, and I wish I had had one as a kid because I was always carrying mine. The big gray one, and then get the see-through one. You know, a little worn there, but otherwise pretty nice. Everything works great. Get about $30 on each of those, maybe a little bit less on the pockets. Game Boy Advance came with all this crud on it. Did not have the original battery cover, so I think I'm just gonna sell that as is. Came with the PSP. I forgot if I mentioned that. I think a few sports games might have made it in. There's like a box full of the wires and all that. It's probably in there. But yeah, nice PSP. Get about like 80-ish on that. I actually grabbed this Game Boy Advanced at a Savers for $3.99 a bag. They had all these 3DS games that were like twice as much as they would be like at GameStop, but this was just hanging in a bag in the back. Ended up buying a bunch of replacement covers from somebody off eBay because I had like a $5 credit, so I got like a ton of those for free. Yeah, it works fine. Get back to that family. A huge lot. So we got Midnight Club, Jimmy Neutron, Froggy's Adventure, and NFL Blitz 2002. Nothing great there. A couple Pokemon games, a blue that has seen much better days, and a gold, which the battery doesn't work. I think at this point, like, no gold and silver work, because every single time I pick one up, the battery's done on it. But surprisingly, this still has a save, and every time I find red or yellow, those both have saves, so they must have gotten like a cheaper battery or something, or changed sizes. And then this little thing. So it was cool. These all came in like these nice looking Nintendo cases that I've never seen before. They have belt loops. This is full of cartridges. Actually, this doesn't have a belt loop, but some games in here. You got Super Mario Land 2, Kirby's Dream Land 2, another copy of Pokemon Blue. They didn't have red, which is kind of surprising. They've had 2 blues. And Bomberman Game Boy, or GB. And yeah, that was it. So I really like this case. This is really nice. Yeah, I'm not sure if these will get anything on their own, but yeah. And yeah, you saw F1 race before. Just finish up this stuff real quick. This was at another yard sale. It's Backyard Baseball, or Backyard Sports, Mario Hoops 3-on-3, and Madden 06. I grabbed this, a copy of Spider-Man, and a couple Xbox controllers that I left downstairs for $10. I think I'll get $10 for Mario on its own. And like Spider-Man, you'll see in a minute, I think it's like $8. Got this small stack of games from Savers. Yeah, I think this is where I got the nunchuck and some other stuff. So 20% off this. Got Mario Kart 64. That's already sold for like 50. That was 15 minus the 20. Got Bomberman 64. This was only $3.99. The label has seen much better days, but works fine. NFL Blitz 2001. That was $3.99. It'll go for about like 15, 20. And Super Mario 64. That was $9.99 minus the 10%. So I'll go for about like 25, 30. And then we'll get back into that huge lot. So these are the N64 games. I just ended up buying all of them. I didn't pick anything out. Which probably would have been the smarter idea for everything. Would have just been offer them like money for everything. But they kept talking up the game like everything was worth a lot, like the dad was. But the guy that was mostly selling me the stuff was like, I just want this gone. Because I think they were moving, or he didn't even live there. I'm not even sure. But yeah, I was pretty happy again. So I got a Game Shark Pro. I'll go for a 25. Most of these are sports games, but NBA Courtside, which is just, it's not on Amazon, which is annoying. Glover, Star Wars Racer, Banjo-Kazooie, kind of a beat up copy of Majora's Mask. I actually had to tape it back together. NFL Blitz 2001, NFL Quarterback Club 99, Rally Challenge 2000, Bugs Life, Ridge Racer 64, which says it has a corrupt save file, so I think I have to replace a battery or something. Monopoly, which I was actually surprised goes for like almost $20. Ken Griffey Jr. Baseball, and Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Surprised they didn't have any Mario games. But yeah, Banjo-Kazooie, that's already sold for like 30. But yeah. So some of this is from that huge lot, and some of it's from other stuff. Start on top, got Pitfall the Mining Adventure. Bought this yesterday at Goodwill for $5 minus my 5%. I didn't notice until I was checking out, but it had like a band-aid stuck on the back. Like I cleaned it off and I like damaged the box a tad, but it was like dried blood. It was really gross. I didn't like I like knocked it off while I was in the store. I was like, oh, gross, band-aid. And I don't know how you don't notice that when you're putting this stuff out in the shelf, but I also don't know how I didn't notice it until, I mean, I just grabbed it out of the case and I looked at the front and I just made sure everything was inside. But still, it grossed me out. There's a lot of dried blood, a lot of old dried blood that I had to clean off of this. But that'll go for about $20. Copy of Wii Sports. I don't really remember where that came from. Oh, here's that MLB 06 The Show is the PSP game. They had a few other PSP games, but I just picked them out. I probably could have just like taken them. I don't think they would have cared. But yeah, $1 at a yard sale. Super Paper Mario. I think that goes for like 9 or 10. This was the one PSP game that I grabbed from them. Grand Theft Auto Liberty City Stories. I 100% always forget that this is the one that like really isn't worth much. It's like Chinatown Wars. And I think Vice City Stories that both go for like 10 or 15. But I'll probably get like a few bucks for that. This was inside the PS2, SSX on tour. This was inside the Wii, Wii Sports. This I actually grabbed with a few other games for $15. This was in a Wii Sports Resort case, but I'll just hold on to the case till I come across a disc only of that. But yeah, Wii Sports. This was part of that big lot, NBA Street Volume 2. We got about, it's actually gone down in price. This usually was about like $12. I think it's around like 8 though. Simpsons Hit and Run. This was the $15 lot. Mario Kart Wii. I think this is actually the big lot. That's Super Mario Galaxy. Spider-Man from that $10 lot I mentioned. This came from the big one. Mario and Sonic London 2012. This came from the $15 one. It's already sold for $12. This is also from that lot. Brawl that's sold for like 22, 23. Brave that's sealed. That'll go for about 12 to 15. Came from that $15 lot. I think Brawl came from this family. And then another copy of Brawl, which actually I didn't notice. It has like this huge, like, well, not huge, but like a really deep scratch on it. But that was a buck that I got with Super Paper Mario. I'm hoping it works, but it probably won't. At a thrift store, I paid, I think, $4 for this, where I got the puzzles. Nicktoons Movin', sealed. About like 15 on that. Simpsons skateboarding game from the big lot. XCOM Enemy Within, I think I got that. Sabers for $3.99. I've played the one before this, or like the other version of this. I always forget if this is like an expansion or what. But $3.99 Sabers, I'll hold on to that. Also $3.99 Sabers Animal Crossing City Folk. I don't know why this one goes for so little. I haven't like played a lot of it, but it seems fine. So I'm surprised it's kind of cheap. But I might get $10 for that. Mario Kart Wii. I think this was $14.99. I got this with the N64 games. I wouldn't usually wouldn't normally pay that much, but I just like needed a copy to sell off a Wii. Cause it's way easier to sell it with a copy of this. But yeah, 20% off, so it wasn't like as much. Earth Defense Force. That was $5 minus my 5% at Goodwill. Sold that for $11 already. Alien Colonial Marines, which I've heard is terrible, but I have not played it. I might give it a go, actually, just to see. That was also $5, and oddly enough goes for like 9 or 10 still. A game called Lips, which I wasn't aware of. This is a karaoke game. It's Party Classics. That was at Savers. Get about 10, 12 on that. I also got a few copies of Guitar Hero, Warriors of Rock, and Metallica, but they're all gone. I think I had 4 copies, of like 2 and 2, but they sold pretty quick. Just Dance 2014, I got this at Goodwill Outlet. There were like 3 other dudes there I definitely know were getting video games. They oddly left this, like, he picked it up and he threw it down, but it's in there, so yeah, it looks fine. Sometimes I can get $10 for this. I don't know why people would, but yeah. And then last is SpongeBob SquarePants Plankton's Robotic Revenge. I think this was it. This might have been Goodwill Outlet too. I don't 100% remember, but yeah. So yeah, that's it. I actually haven't even edited the last video and put it up yet, but I mentioned that it's probably gonna be about 2 weeks between videos. We'll see. I think I'm not sure if I'm gonna be headed out to yard sales next weekend, but hopefully it won't take too long for that video to come out and then this video. So yeah, like, subscribe, comment, share, and I'll see everybody around. Bye.